Didn't see you there. I did not see you there at all. Oh, stealth. What are y'all doing here? How's it going? I'm having trouble here. I can't hear you. Well, have a good night, y'all. This thing's supposed to spin. I was just joking, obviously. I brought you here. Why would I mess with y'all like that? Who knows? So anyways, I had a very productive conversation today. Very short one. Very productive one. I did have my first real therapy session 3 days ago. What is today? Today's Friday. Had that conversation on Wednesday. Today's actually Saturday, but it's Friday. We haven't gone to sleep yet, so it's still Friday. We've invented a 25th hour of the day. I just watched Batman with my dad, the 2023 one. I did already watch Superman with my parents. That one was fucking 2023. 2022, by the way, Batman, Robert Pattinson. But I did just watch 2025's Superman not too long ago, so we're just going through the newest DC movies, catching them up. Very, very good. Very, very good. Why is this thing not spinning? You're supposed to spin. This is nice and bright in here. But no. Before that, well, in the middle of that, there were a lot of interruptions. So the movie was paused for about an hour. I was talking to my mom. I watched the movie with my dad. My mom came in for bits and pieces of it, but I was talking to my mom during the intermission of the movie. And, you know, I just figured out even, like, the worst things doesn't make them better. Doesn't absolve the person responsible of any sort of guilt, because that's how it was supposed to happen. That's what needed to happen. But without getting into specifics, the shit that happened at exactly the right time. If it was going to happen at all, it needed to happen right then and there. God, I wish I could say more, but I really can't. Not my business to share. Well, I mean, I could. I have every right to, but I won't. But what happened caused me to cut someone out of my life completely. And that person needed to go. They were a fucking snake. You know, not a person you want to keep around, let alone make into your roommate. This person was going to be my roommate. And after what they did to me, this is the person that I refuse to give any sort of second chances to. Actually, I think I deleted that video. I made a video about, like, oh, man, second chances, who should get them and who shouldn't get them, and I think I deleted that video. But this is the only person in my life that I'm not really willing to give a second chance to because of what they did and what they continue to do and what they've been doing and what they're probably still doing right now. It was just better just to cut them out. And this was the same person I was going to make into my roommate. Really, Malik suggested, hey, you know, this person could be our roommate too. Well, no. So I was talking to him about me and Malik being roommates, and then he said something, and then I said something to Malik, and I was like, I'm not really sure what you think. Really, I was hoping Malik would say no, because I didn't want this person. But Malik was like, oh, dude, that sounds great. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, sounds great. This proved we don't need him as a roommate. I don't even know what his plan was after what he did. After what, like, was he just going to cut me out of it and he and Malik were going to get a place? Like, what was the plan? Or maybe, well, he wasn't thinking, and I don't know. Motherfucker can't even hold a job, though, so I don't know what bills we were expecting him to pay. It worked out the way it worked out, and that's for the best. And it still hurts because a lot of trust was broken. Not only him, but someone else. That other person, I found a way to forgive. I can't say anything else about that other person, but I don't talk to them. But the first person, he's gone. I never want to see him again. Let alone live with the guy, be his roommate. No. Everything worked out the way it was supposed to, and that kind of, it still sucks. And it doesn't absolve him of guilt in any way, just because, oh, he was supposed to do that. I think my life would have been better off if I never met this person to begin with. But I don't know, maybe this is one of those situations where this is like divine intervention. Like, it was gonna happen, at least it happened now, and it didn't happen later. Because if it happened after we got his ass on the lease, dude, that would have been bad. But it happened before we even really found a spot. We were still looking for a spot when all of this had happened. And after all of this happened, none of my friends talk to this guy anymore. So, he's been cut off from everybody, and I think even the other person doesn't even talk to him anymore. I'm not really sure, honestly. I could give a fuck. But I know Malik don't talk to this guy. I know none of the other guys talk to this guy. First of all, like, 2 of the other guys never even met this guy, but I know no one talks to this fucking guy. I know the damage he did to me, they felt a certain way about, and they were just like, yeah, wait, I got you. And I was like, hey, y'all can be friends with him if y'all want, but keep me out of it. And they were like, bro, if he could do that to you, we don't really need him around. And I was like, heard that. And even my managers, because I used to work with this guy, even my managers, they still get texts from him. They don't fucking open them up. And they were like, how do you feel about me talking to this guy? And I was like, I don't care. Just leave me out of it. But admittedly, there was a part of me that actually did care. And I don't know why. I felt like the only reason he was talking to them was to come after my money. He came after everything else. Now he's coming after my money. And so I was worried about that. But it doesn't matter. And now I see that. I don't even think about this guy too often. I think about how much I hate him, which that's not healthy. But today I was thinking, because he really, I can't say what he did, but he took a lot from me. I lost so much. That's part of the reason I'm going to therapy now. And he really did take so much from me. And I mean, it was a combined effort, unfortunately. And I don't trust this other person, but I've forgiven them, kind of. We're still working on that. But the only thing is, I know this other person would take a bullet for me if the moment arose. I know this guy would be the reason that there's a bullet in my general area in the first place. I know that he would be the one to take my life if I, he asked me for so much and I never asked him for anything. Except when I did ask him for something is when he showed his real colors. I was venting to him, and because I was paranoid about something. And then I realized I wasn't paranoid about anything, and I realized he was the problem. I realized he was the one who did it. Being vague as fuck here, because I have to. I'm sorry, like, if y'all knew what I was talking about, y'all would understand. But, I don't know, like, if it's God or the universe, but the timing of this shit sucked, but if it had to happen, the timing was perfect. Everything that's happening as a result, all the things that I lost, not really worth going through. I wish it never happened. Wish I could go back to the way things were. I wish I could have all the things that he took. But what's done is done. There's no going back to it. I wish I never met the guy. But if this is how it had to happen, this is how it had to happen. So, I don't know what the point of this story was. It's just an epiphany I had. I was like, oh, there is divine timing, I guess. I don't know. Everything happens for a reason, right? The lesson And I did learn a lesson from this. Like, from him, anyways. The other lesson I'm supposed to be learning from someone else, I don't understand at all. But the lesson I learned from him is to just not necessarily keep my walls up, but I can't just lower my guard for every single person that comes my way. There's some people you can trust, and there's some people you can't. And I'm really not a keep your friends close but your enemies closer kind of guy. Get rid of your enemies. I mean, there have been times where I've gone with that mentality. But I really don't have any enemies these days. It all worked out. Everything has worked out. I have him. I would consider him an enemy. If I saw him coming into my work, ordering a fucking sandwich, acting like nothing happened, I'd be pissed. And then, on top of that, he says the right combination of things, I'm laying his ass out. He ain't gonna fight back, he's a pussy, he's all mouth. So, he's an enemy, but he's the only enemy I have now. It used to be that I had so many of them, and now those people that I were calling enemies are now my friends. They wronged me, but I gave them second chances, and it worked. It worked out. Those people that wronged me are now my best friends in the whole world. It's a shame that shit happened the way that it happened with them, but there was a reason for it, clearly. Well, I mean, there was a reason that those events played out the same way. And I learned with people can change, people can grow, people can be better. But even if you forgive someone, you shouldn't forget what they're capable of. I don't necessarily believe in forgiving and forgetting. There's something else that's going on that I'm not going to be able to, as a result of all this, that I'm not going to be able to forget. This other person that I'm saying I'm trying to forgive, I'm working towards it, and I think it could be great. But I can't forget what they're capable of. And if I see it going that way again, I gotta leave. I gotta get out. But so many other people have wronged me, and those enemies have turned into friends that I've held for 3 or 4 years now. It's always worked out, and they're the closest people that I know that would take a bullet for me. I don't want to say what happened, but with Malik, now, granted, it was kind of a misunderstanding with him, but we were beefing pretty fucking hard. We didn't talk to each other for a fucking year, and he just shows back up by pure chance, pure happenstance. Like, that could not have been a bigger coincidence ever. And we made up, and we're best friends. We're roommates now. He just showed up at my job by complete coincidence and was like, and we just figured out we recognized each other, and it just worked the second time, you know? First time, we were decent acquaintances, you know, we interacted every now and then, like, blah, 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 but it wasn't anything real. Now it's fucking real. This thing is supposed to be moving. Right? Maybe not. Maybe not right now for some reason. But it couldn't have worked out more perfectly with Malik. And there's someone else too who caused the misunderstanding intentionally that pulled me and Malik apart. And I'm friends with them too. I thought what they did was completely unforgivable at the time, but it worked out. I still talk to them. Not as much as I'd like to, but we became much better friends the second time than we were the first time. We were really close, but they were always using me to make their lives easier. Just, it was easier to use me than to be friends with me, I guess. I'm not really sure what the deal was. And when I called them out on it, they took so much from me. But the second time, it just worked. It just worked out the way it was supposed to. That was... I don't know. And at first, I kept my guard up around them. Malik, I was able to let my guard... I think Malik was actually after them. So, so first I met back up with them, and then with Malik, I was able to let my guard down and set something up, and it worked out. But with them, it took me forever to be able to let my guard down around them, because even though I was working on forgiving, I was certainly nowhere near forgetting. I still know what they're capable of. But now there's trust, and I'd be really, really fucking surprised if they did that shit again. But I can still remember what they did, and if I see it going that way, I gotta leave. But it's been 3 years, and I haven't had to leave, so... Well, now they're not even in the same town. Now they're not even in the same state as me, so... But I still talk to them. Malik, we patched that up real quick. I don't think what the other guy did, I don't think I can forgive or forget, I don't think I want anything to do with him. It was malicious. After he wronged me, he started telling everyone I was the bad guy. Blaming me for everything that he's doing. And I was just minding my own fucking business the whole fucking time. The one time I fucking asked him for anything, it was just to have an ear, to just talk. That's all I asked. He started acting like it was a big fucking deal. And I was like, well, fuck. So then I called Malik. I'm like, hey, this guy's acting weird as fuck. And then I realized he was doing the thing, in the moment that I was texting him, he was doing the thing that was worrying me. So, yeah, my whole fucking world fell apart that day. And Malik is the one who stood up for me. Malik and someone else, I don't know if they want me to say their name. They cut him off, I cut him off. They cut off the other person too, but the other person, I can't do that. But things aren't the same right now. And he's still off fucking around doing the same shit that he did. Because he's a fucking snake. This fucking snake was going to be my roommate. So all I'm saying is, sucks that it happened. I'm glad it happened right then and there. But now I know that I can't trust everybody, like I did. And now I know that there are people that you can't just forgive and forget, Some things are beyond forgiveness. Maybe he's not, but he ain't trying to do it. He ain't trying to make it. He never apologized. I've reached out to him once since everything happened, and that's because I was using him. Really, yeah. So I was using him, and I because someone I knew was in danger. He was close to this person, and so I told him, go fucking look for her, right? And then she tells me, yeah, I'm glad you found me, or I'm glad he found me, I'm surprised that both of you came looking for me. I'm like, he only came looking for you because I fucking told him to. And she's like, oh, that's not what he told me. And I was like, well, he's a fucking liar. I got the text right here. So I showed her. It's like, huh. And now I don't even think she talks to this guy because he's like, oh, I had to come in and be the hero because this guy actually didn't care about you, so I have to come and look for you, blah, 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 blah. And he's still talking that mad shit. Long after this has all happened. So I'm using him, and when I'm talking to him, he's being a pussy. He's like, okay, sure. And so yeah, I used him to go make sure she was safe. And then I've heard nothing since. Except he told... I can't say that. I've heard from multiple people that he still talks mad shit about me, even though I've basically not said a word about him. That changes just now, by the way. But this guy's a fucking snake. And there's no world where he could have been my roommate, where that would have ended well. And if it happened while... Like, you know what? I don't want to go down that route. But it happened the way it happened because that's how it needed to happen. And I don't know. I don't know if there is an alternate ending where things worked out the way I wanted them to, or if there's an alternate ending where things worked out much worse. But all I know is this was the perfect time for some bullshit to happen and for it to have minimal consequences. Still had consequences. Still sucked. Still basically ruined my fucking life, but I mean, could have been worse. Could have been worse. If any fucking variable was off, it would have been way worse. So it happened on that day. That's just when it had to happen. Still sucks. But yeah. I'll keep y'all posted. Maybe I'll talk about my therapy set. Probably shouldn't. Second thought, no, I'm not going to. But I'll keep y'all updated. I know I haven't vlogged in a while. I'm so excited for these apartments. They're coming up. We got less than a week. Less than a week. Got like a week and a half. I'll have to check that. Today's the 17th. We move in on the 31st. That's a week and a half. Doi. Today is the 17th? Today's not the 17th. What is today? Today is the 18th. Friday. It's still Friday. It's actually the 19th, but we're going to say it's Friday. So this is the vlog of July 17th. No. July 18th, 2025. See y'all in the next one. Alright, sorry, lights back on in here. So, I made a video recently. Okay, first of all, I've had a bit of a rough night. And a great night at that, too. A little too great, actually. Need to lay off the... Woo! Y'all get the idea. But earlier while I was at work, I realized, man, I misspoke. Like, I've been doing this all fucking... I've had back-to-back all-nighters. I've gotten an hour or two of sleep, right? But, like, I've not been treating my body well because I've been going through some shit, which those videos are coming out later. I'll explain. I've been vlogging about what's been going on, so y'all will see what's been going on. But, I've been going through it, basically. And so in that announcement, I start rambling off, and I just start saying shit that isn't necessarily untrue, but I just shouldn't have said. And not only is it that I shouldn't have said it. Sorry. Not only is it that it wasn't necessarily untrue, but I should have communicated with my partner before I said those things, right? So, Agate Lavender 6, like me and him, he was like, you said in your video you don't really feel like you have much of a voice. Like, I made you a mod. That's why I made you a mod. And I'm like, true. And then something happened in the Discord. We don't really know what happened, I guess. I don't know. And I was just like, this is what I'm talking about. But it wasn't also... I was just fucking rambling and going on. And at some point, I'm kind of mumbling, and I'm just like, I don't really feel like I have a voice. It's like his vision for this. And honestly, like, I'm cool with that. Now, I guess I was really coming from a place of not really knowing what the fuck we're doing with this little idea. Right? And that's more what it was confusion on my part. But the way he was talking to me, and the way when I played the video back, I'm like, that's not what I said. I said something completely different. So what I said wasn't untrue, but it's very misleading. And I should have communicated before I said anything at all. So I wanted to just revise, like, I have a say in the chat, or in the Discord, right? I have a say. I've set up some channels in there. And like I said, I'm running the comics. That's like, no one else is really inputted in that. That's my area. What I was getting at was I don't really know what his goal with the Discord is, and this is my goal with it, and nothing more than that. But what I said was, I don't really feel like I have a voice in it. So I'm just rambling because I'm like on 2 hours of sleep, and I'm just like, blah, 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 blah. So it made sense when I watched it back. It made sense when and this is why I don't upload the day of, usually. Usually my videos are, that way I have time to look at it. and the shit that I'm saying. So what I meant is, I don't really know what we're doing here, and I don't really know what the end goal is. But what I fucking said was, oh yeah, well, he's like, he's got me here, but I'm not really doing it, and then it makes it sound like I'm unhappy in the situation, whereas I like what I'm doing. There is still going to be a second chat, and it's still going to be content focused, but I'm not trying to undermine this one. So I was going to release it in a couple of weeks. I'll change that to a couple of months, maybe. I don't know. I still want to do this because I like this community of, like, let's talk about games versus what do y'all want to see me do? Because one of them is this chat, I think, me personally, and again, I got to talk to him. Me personally, I think this chat should be like, I don't know, right now it seems like it's just kind of fucking around and socializing, right? Whereas mine is going to be more productive, I think. I still want to have two chats. And I still want him part of mine. But I was like, hold up, there's some confusion. If my partner is getting confused by what I'm saying, the general public is going to be very confused by what I'm saying. Not that it fucking matters. The video has like 2 views, and one of them is him. But if he thinks that I'm saying that I feel fucked off, and I'm not gonna lie, I do feel a little fucked off, but not by him. It's all the shit that's going on at work too. So yeah, it just, I'm rambling, shit's kind of blurring together. I'm talking about my work, but it's coming out through the Discord. And so if he's confused about it, well, then everyone else is going to be confused about it too. So I wanted to clear it up. I am 100% totally cool with what's going on in this Discord. I do have a voice. I am a mod. I am making channels. I am hosting the comics page. That's my area. Someone else wants to come in there and, do a little bit whatever. But right now, that's my area. So I have an area. I have a role. This is, and I like what I'm doing right now with this chat. So this kind of sounds corporate-y, but, you don't come in, like, half drunk to a corporate bit. But anyways. Yeah, I should have done this before I went out drinking. But no, so like, obviously, cause like he texted me, he's like, bro, you do have a voice. I made you a mod. What are you talking about? And I'm just like, the fuck are you talking about? And then I play back the video that I uploaded, that I already played back, and I'm like, yo, I really said that. And it really made sense when it came out of my mouth. And it really made sense when I watched it back the first time. It don't make sense no more. Like, why did I say that? So now I gotta rewatch the other video I recorded. But for a good couple of months, this is gonna be the focus. Like, the chilling villains, like, there's so much we can do here. And I think other than me saying that, and really I was talking about work, you run off of 1 hour of sleep for 2 whole days, and you see the kind of shit that you say. Really I was talking about work, but for some reason I decided to talk about it as like I was trying to vent, but I'm trying not to vent too hard or lose my job, you know what I'm saying? Probably shouldn't have said that either, but it's fine. But oftentimes I come into work and I just feel immediately fucked off. It's like, oh, cool, clock in, punch in, do your shit, get out of my hair. And, I mean, that's life, right? But I was venting about that. For some reason, I thought it was a good idea to talk about the Discord. Not sure why not sure what the fuck was going on in my brain. And there have been a few things here or there. I'm not gonna lie, like, you don't get along with everybody about everything, right? So there've been some things with the Discord. I'm just like, I really don't think we should do that. And he's like, I think we should do that. And whatever. That's normal. It's called creative differences. That happens. Whatever. I was not bringing that up. There. I was talking about work, but my brain was rambling on like blah, 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 and then venting about it using the Discord as a guise. That's all that was. But I really thought I should clear that up because I'm like, that doesn't really look good now. He's coming over here telling me about it. And I'm just like, oh, it wasn't clear what I was doing. I fucked up. Should explain that. So I'll send him this video, and then I'll, this video will go up when it goes up. Actually, we have another video coming out today, so I should probably upload that now. Today we got an Overwatch video, which was really fun to make. That was from, like I said, that video I worked on for about 3 hours 2 months ago. No, 4 months ago. And I had time to look over it, and I've checked it, and I've watched it a few times. But when I'm just over here and I'm rambling and I'm skimming through the video, I miss shit. So normally I would have been like, oh, let me keep that to myself, let me edit that out. I missed that, or maybe I heard it and it sounded right. But like, shit. I said that. Everything else I said in that video, I stand by 100%. Like, I'm saying, like, Chilling Villains is the place to be. I am starting a second Discord, and that's purely for the content creation side of it. Whereas I think Chilling Villains is going to be purely for the community side of it. And, I mean, there'll be some overlap between both, I'm sure. But, I want to know what people want to see from me, personally. And I'm not going to get that going into this, right? So, yeah, there's no worries. I'm going to be in the Chilling Villains Discord, and I'm pushing this one out a couple of months now because it feels weird starting it now. But it's still happening. But I'll push this one out a couple of months, so y'all don't, a couple of months, a couple more weeks, I don't know. Still super excited about everything else that we got going on, which y'all will see vlogs of eventually. I don't know. I do have some other vlogs going up about stuff that's been going on. They're dated when they were recorded, but they're obviously coming out like months later. So I'm excited for y'all to see that. I can't plug the Discord in those vlogs because of the fact that they were recorded way long ago and they're ready to be uploaded, but I'm trying to space out my content basically. I do have some Final Fantasy videos coming out soon. I got some Kingdom Hearts videos coming out soon. I got some Minecraft videos. One just came out, and it's just like an extended version of all three of them, like just put together. And then I have the smaller videos coming out later. So you watch the big video, you see all of it. The chapter, I guess one thing I should say is I'm gonna start doing with some videos, breaking them up into chapters. So if you don't want to like have to create a queue, if you don't want to keep clicking, if you just want to binge it as like a movie or whatever, you can do that. I'll call it chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3. Whereas the other ones are still going to be like, let's play number 1, number 2, number 3, and those are the smaller ones. Chapter. So, and then this is an old thing that I mentioned in a long time ago. If you see Let's Play on it, it's got my commentary, it's got my input, it's got like all the stuff on it. If it doesn't say Let's Play, it's just like a highlight reel or just random footage that I found. Yeah, no, I think that about covers it. So, recap, the TLDR, the Discord, everything is going great, everything is going according to plan. I shouldn't have said what I said, and also it wasn't even really necessarily about the Discord. It was about other shit, because I've been going through it. Number 2, Let's Plays have commentary. If they don't say Let's Play, there's no commentary. Chapters are these long videos that are just the smaller ones all put together. And the smaller ones are coming out more digestible bites, I think, except for the last... There are a couple that reach over like an hour, and it's like, that's not really smaller, is it? But those will be labeled number 1, number 2, number 3, versus the chapters are going to be the big ones, chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, which are just usually 2 to 3 numbers make a chapter, the kind of the way I'm putting it. The chapter is basically just click on chapter 1 and you can fall asleep to watching my stuff if that's your kind of thing. I didn't really think about that until right this second, but I do watch a lot of like Did You Know Gaming is like, oh, like 553 facts about Nintendo games to fall asleep to, or something like that. So I just thought about it. Hey, the chapter has an added benefit if you want to just hear me ramble on about Minecraft. There you go. I'm working on another creative mode video for Minecraft. I got some Final Fantasy and Kingdom Hearts stuff in the works. That's about it. Do come join the Discord. It should be linked in the description. If it's not, go to the other video. Announcement of 7/20/25. But yeah, it is the place to be. My friend commented on the video. He's like, I was high when I made the name. And I was like, oh, that's fair. I don't know. I couldn't come up with a name for mine. I still don't have one. I'm thinking like the club, the joint. I don't know. Something like that. But again, I'm not really doing anything with that. I'm putting all my energy into chilling villains for a while. I see where that goes. I don't really have any interest in leaving that, even if I do open up my own thing. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I'll push it out a little while. Is there anything else I should say while I have the camera going? Probably shouldn't upload this until the morning, though, actually. So probably after the Overwatch video. While I have the camera rolling, what else should I say? I genuinely can't think of anything. But that about covers it. I do be feeling pretty tired. I just went out to a party tonight and I'm exhausted. I was exhausted with work because bullshit that I shouldn't say, but whatever. Me and someone else, we were like, oh, we'll fucking get out of here. We'll go party, and we went and partied, and it was fucking. And I don't drink like that, but I'm mostly sobered up now. Obviously, otherwise I wouldn't be doing this, but can't keep my balance. Shouldn't have said all that, but it stays in. Let's see. I think that's it. I don't really think there's anything else to comment on. The vlogs are coming out, I think. One of them should already be out, maybe. No, they don't start until next month. Yeah, they don't start until August. And hopefully by September, we have some of the videos of the apartment coming through. I think it'll be really fun. Yeah, I guess that's it. I'm just kind of running around in circles again, like I was before, rambling. So I should cut it off before I say something stupid again.